Have you ever heard of a high-ranking U.S. Army officer who was also a high priest of a satanic church? It sounds like the plot of a Hollywood thriller, but it's the real-life story of Michael Aquino. Today, we're diving deep into the life of this enigmatic figure, exploring his distinguished military career, his controversial research into mind control, and his founding of the notorious Temple of Set. This is a story that blurs the lines between military intelligence, psychological operations, and the occult. Michael Aquino was born in 1946. He was a brilliant individual from a young age, showing a keen intellect that would later define his career. He pursued higher education with vigor, eventually earning a PhD in political science. But it was his military service that truly set him on an extraordinary path. Aquino joined the U.S. Army and specialized in psychological operations, or PSYOPs. What exactly are PSYOPs? Think of it as the art of influence. It involves using information and misinformation to shape the emotions, motives, and reasoning of foreign governments, organizations, and individuals. Aquino wasn't just a participant, he was a master of the craft. He served in the Vietnam War, where he was awarded the Bronze Star for his service. His expertise was in strategic communication and propaganda, skills that he would later apply in a very different arena. During his time in the military, Aquino became deeply involved in research projects that are still shrouded in mystery today. One of the most famous was his paper titled "From PSYOP to Mind War: The Psychology of Victory." This wasn't just a theoretical document, it was a radical proposal. Aquino argued that the United States could and should develop advanced psychological weapons. He envisioned a future where warfare wasn't fought with bombs and bullets, but with information targeted directly at the human mind. The mind war concept was incredibly ambitious. It proposed using a combination of media, propaganda, and even more esoteric techniques to subtly influence and control enemy populations, potentially without them even realizing it. Aquino suggested that this new form of warfare could be more effective and less destructive than traditional military conflict. The paper was controversial, to say the least. While some saw it as a brilliant evolution of psychological warfare, others were deeply disturbed by its ethical implications. Could a government really be trusted with the power to wage war on the minds of its enemies, or even its own citizens? The ideas were so provocative that they were officially disavowed by the military. But they sparked a debate that continues to this day about the limits of psychological operations. While building this impressive and controversial military career, Aquino was living a secret double life. He was drawn to the occult and alternative belief systems. In the late 1960s, he joined Anton LaVey's Church of Satan, a group that had gained notoriety for its atheistic, individualistic brand of Satanism. Aquino's intelligence and charisma quickly propelled him through the ranks. He became a high-ranking member and editor of their publications and a key figure in the organization. He wasn't just a follower. He was a leader and a thinker within the movement. However, by the mid-1970s, Aquino grew disillusioned with LaVey's direction. He felt that the Church of Satan had become too theatrical and commercial, moving away from what he saw as genuine esoteric principles. LaVey's brand of Satanism was fundamentally atheistic, viewing Satan as a symbol of rebellion and self-interest rather than a real entity. Aquino disagreed. He believed in the existence of a real, conscious, non-Christian deity. This philosophical split led to a dramatic break in 1975. Aquino performed a ritual in which he claimed to have summoned Satan himself. According to his account, the entity revealed its true, ancient name, Set, the Egyptian god of darkness and chaos. Aquino believed that Set was the original pure form of the being that later cultures had misinterpreted as Satan. Following this revelation, Aquino resigned from the Church of Satan and, along with a group of like-minded members, founded a new organization, the Temple of Set. The Temple of Set was fundamentally different from the Church of Satan. Its core philosophy, known as Satanism, was theistic. The Temple of Set established a hierarchical structure with degrees of initiation that members could attain through study and personal achievement. As you can imagine, a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army running a satanic church was bound to cause a stir. And it did. In the 1980s, America was gripped by the Satanic Panic, a period of mass hysteria where people believed a vast underground network of Satanists was committing horrific crimes across the country. Michael Aquino and the Temple of Set were caught directly in the crosshairs. Aquino was accused of heinous crimes in connection with the Presidio child abuse case, a highly publicized scandal at an Army daycare center in San Francisco. The accusations were shocking and detailed, painting Aquino as a monster. The investigations were intense. Law enforcement and the media dug into every aspect of Aquino's life. But in the end, no credible evidence was ever found to support the accusations against him. He was officially clear of all charges. The scandal left a permanent stain on Aquino's reputation and followed him for the rest of his life. After retiring from the military, Aquino dedicated himself fully to the Temple of Set and his philosophical work. He authored numerous books and essays, elaborating on Satan philosophy, magic, and the concept of Zephyr. He maintained that the temple was a legitimate philosophical and religious organization dedicated to intellectual freedom and individual empowerment. He passed away in 2019, leaving behind a complex and controversial legacy. So how should we remember Michael Aquino? Was he a brilliant military strategist who dared to explore the outer limits of psychological warfare? His life forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the relationship between power, belief, and control. His work in PsyOps and his mind war concept remain chillingly relevant in our age of social media and information warfare. Michael Aquino's story is a fascinating and at times unsettling journey into the shadows where military intelligence and the occult collide. It's a tale that challenges our perceptions and proves that reality is often far stranger than fiction. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most mysterious figures and events. Let me know your thoughts on Michael Aquino in the comments below. See you next time.